Looky what we've got here. I'm going to have to turn my monitor tool on for this one. This one's going to be wowee. Wowee. So, if you guys don't know, in the bottom of the map in the red color playing is Odin. His name is Rapl. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Ra. He is none other than your favorite British Titans player, or maybe second favorite British Titan, maybe even third favorite British Titans player, but he's at least top 4 or 5 British Titans players. There's actually quite a few very, very fun and interesting English Age of Mythology, the Titans players. So much so that I'm surprised that there aren't just like weekly lands going on in Britain. Like, just go to each other's house, you know. But it is none other than I am Joe. No, not me. I'm Boyd. This is Joe, and he's playing Ra. We've got Ra versus Odin on Alfheim. Probably one of the most balanced matchups in the game at this point. Both civilizations incredibly overtuned. Yeah, we'll see how this game's going to go. We've even got this bonkers relic here, Trojan Gate Hinge. This one is super value. It's a free upgrade for your walls if you just put the relic into your temple, and that means that later in the game, when you want to have lots of walls, you can make more walls, and they can be really, really good. We've also got a relic over here, which is super interesting and exciting and awesome. We've got the Pandora's box. This one is less good, but because it's kind of useless, because you have a finite amount of favor you can have, so the negative 25% myth training time doesn't really matter. Anyways, onwards and upwards, we've got the hardest folly over here, which is giving you a little bit more line of sight, a little bit of line of sight for your no scouting shenanigans. Joe, on the other hand, is showing the Ra players what it means to scout. This is why you scout with Ra, and this is why you don't empower early in the game like a lot of those chemo copycats out there. You got to get that scout in, because look, you get given the best relic in the game every single time you scout with Ra. That's just how it works. You get the best relic in the game. You say GG, you live the dream. Osberg Wagon in possession for Joe. This is a 25% caravan reduction cost. So that means 75 food a caravan, but more importantly, 15% caravan move speed bonus, which is almost channels. Now, 15% increase on the movement speed of caravans means, in layman's terms, it means a flat 15% increase to your gold income for caravans. So, for example, getting coinage, that gives you 20% more gold. Getting channels as Gaia gives you 20% more gold income from your caravans. That, if you understand it like that, it means must grab technologies or relics. Fantastic. Alrighty, so, and look at this. Joe even gets a beautiful bear on his deer bud. Is he advancing? He's going through Ptah nice and quick. 8 villages on gold, 10 villages on food. Rapl, on the other hand, what's Rapl doing? Heimdall. Oh, baby. I love Heimdall in this matchup. This matchup with Heimdall is so fun, because if you can catch the Migdol going up, you can deny it before it gets up. So you just let it go up to like 500, 600 HP, and then you cast Undermine on it, and it's not going to finish. And then also on top of that, you get access to this upgrade here, Safeguard. This is actually a good upgrade just to get just randomly in the classical age, because it gives you an extra 100% bonus HP on, we're seeing a Heimdall rush here from Rapl, but you get a bonus 100% hit points on your walls, which is 600 hit points, I believe, for your walls, which is a lot, right? 600 HP walls. Yeah, there's Ptah coming through for Joe. And what's he doing? He's finished with his food, coming home. He's got the wood income. We've got some barracks coming down now. He's going to have to deal with this. Throwing those barracks up. There will be an undermine coming in potentially on these towers. Sorry, I should say. There is a way in which you can get both of these towers with one undermine as well. So that's another way to be super value. So we'll see how Rapl's going to go here with this rush. What I would love to see here from Rapl is cutting all of these units, pulling back, armory, and then Hill Fort Jarl. Because right now, Joe is Axeman. Oh, he's making Spearman. I mean, you can make whatever you want. You can make Huskar, you can make Jarl, you can go Njord, you can go Scardy. But you've just forced Joe way out of his comfort zone here with a big fake. But he's not faking, he's going for it. Joe's retreating away from his gold line, which is super tough. And because Joe didn't scout enough, he didn't notice that he has a gold mine here. And there's the undermine. Will this undermine hit this tower as well or no? I don't think it will. It's kind of going to hit all these houses. Maybe undermine works a bit different. Maybe it works a little bit different. Anyways. And while this is all going, Rapl gets access to all of these deer here. Just living the dream. Absolutely living the dream. There is potential here for like one really easy counter to Heimdall, which is a little bit underutilized for the Ra players, is to just throw a second monument down or even a third monument down and start getting Wadgets. The Wadgets, there's not really a counter to them if you got Axeman as Odin, because the Axeman can just sit on the Wadget and the Wadget can just spray the damage out. They do so much damage. So if the Herser can't get onto the Wadget, then you just say, great, you go and kill my Wadget and I kill you, as an idea. Imagine forest fire here, by the way. And Rapl's still trying to push in. I think Joe possibly can take this fight if he decides to get Skin of the Rhino, which he hasn't got yet. But he can cut a villager, get Skin of the Rhino. He doesn't have the food for it, and then just push out. Scardy style, you know, villager fights like this. Yes, jab, 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 whack, whack, whack. Shifting sands here brings a couple of units into the box. Lots of units missed the box, but the Spearman will be able to pick off a bunch of them. You do see the armory coming up in the back. And now Joe can push forward in the front. Rapple's in some trouble now. He's going to have to make the great escape with his army. 74 population to Joe's 70 population. And Joe's got 500 gold in the bank. So if he gets Shadoof and Plow, he can go into a lot of farms here. So he's going to have to cut the slingers for a while, but should be able to get there. Yeah, definitely in time. Does he have husbandry? No husbandry. He does cut these. Husbandry. Anyways, house is going down slowly. Joe retreating back. You can kind of turn and fight this though. Keeps on like putting his Wadget in the wrong spot. Just go into box command. That way, when you turn and fight your army, it's really easy. Your slingers will be closer to the throwing axemen. The spearmen will protect the slingers from the raiding cavalry, and the spearmen on the back will just automatically go to the right position that they need to be in. So you lose out on a little bit of DPS from your spearmen. You gain a ton of DPS for your slingers, and your Wadget doesn't die. It's box command. It is the way of the future and the past. Villagers popping off of the gold here for Joe. He's got 900 gold in the bank, so no need to be gathering from that here. Nice little over gather on that to make sure he's got units and stuff, but I like Rapl's pressure here. He doesn't need to do too much. Doesn't need to overcommit. Just keep applying pressure and see what you can do. But it is looking like Joe is going to attempt to get to the heroic cage. Just maybe a slight mistake here for Joe, because how does he get this gold mine back? How does he get this gold mine over here? The Raven's flying overhead. I would have loved to see like some walls come up over on this side. Whenever you have got control of a map, you have to kind of take as much control as you possibly can. So just send one throwing axeman around this side and throw up a wall, and then you've really made life a lot easier for yourself in terms of getting a gold starve or grabbing 4 town centers, slowing your opponent down, knowing where they're going to be. We do see Hathor is on the way, and it looks like Rapl not quite aware that this is getting gathered from anymore. You can see this these longhouses just can't see far enough. He is attempting to get to the next age. Big problem is going to be coming his way, though. And if you're not in the heroic age by the time your opponent, the Ra player, is in the heroic age, and you're gathering from a second gold mine, dealing with that rock is incredibly tough. And it doesn't look like there's a town center around here that's going to be decent enough for Rapl to grab in order to defend this. So one option here is you could grab Safeguard and put some towers up around here, super strong. Probably could have actually done that on the front as well. Would have been nice, but definitely smart of Rapl to just sack this this base here for a little bit, get heroic age through Skadi, hopefully. Definitely don't want to go Njord in this situation here. We do see Skadi. They've got a choice. There's the Hathor. And then just retreat these units back, sit overhead of this, and potentially get your... I don't know if you can get this in the Classical Age. Axe of Muspel. I think it is Classical Age technology. Get that, and then try and defend. So we'll see Joe. He's going to be sending this rock forward straight away. It's only 4.0 speed on Voobly, so it does a lot less damage than it otherwise would have if it didn't get this nerf. And there's the walls coming up now for Rapl. Just a little bit late here as they're slowly coming up. Joe may not notice it. He does notice it here. They're going to take down this Self-Sark, and that's going to prevent all of this location from being able to be gathered from. Now, you might be baited into casting Frost on this army here, but you definitely don't want to do that. Or it looks like we're not going to get a... Oh, the Locust comes down now. Can you get a... I mean, it dodged a lot of it. That's a low value Locust there. That's a low value Locust. I think you kind of want to put it a little bit off the gold mine rather than run on top of it. But he does manage to pick off a lot of those dwarfs, but really gets away pretty unscathed, and that's going to be great for him. But I was going to say, you don't want to cast Frost on this army here at any point until Son of Osiris is out, because Frost can basically counter... can do what it wants to do, plus kill Son of Osiris. So hopefully Rapl holds onto Frost for as long as he possibly can. If he has to cast it, obviously he has to cast it. But he doesn't want to allow a free Son of Osiris to be dealing tons of damage. Now we're seeing the Spearman coming in. And this is what I'm talking about. When you have that advantage at this front here, you just get those walls down. You don't need all those units there. Just 1 or 2 units, come around the map, wall it off, and now it's 13 minutes into the game, and you've got completely safe from the Spearman raids. All the cavalry raids, all the chariot raids. Obviously, you need to have map control or deem yourself to have map control. But we are seeing that now Rapl's going to attempt to push through here. He does have the Frost, and actually, it's not a bad usage here. Because it hits all the villages as well as the units here, and he can take the Migdol stronghold down. But Joe's now got an obnoxiously strong unit for the Voobly Odin to deal with. If you're on Extended Edition, you can just make Boggs Viker, and it kind of makes that Son of Osiris a little bit laughable. But on Voobly, it's a bit of a nightmare for Odin to deal with. He does take down the Migdol stronghold, and it is potential here for Rapl to finish the game right here. He's sitting full population. He just needs to sit on this army though, get a good surround with the raiding cavalry, and be ready to start this fight. Make sure the Frost Giant is targeting the Patsukos, and he should be okay. But half his units aren't in here. As the Spearmen find that random raid over here, hitting all of those villages. That's absolutely beautiful for Joe. And now the army is just going to be retreating back. Joe's sitting 600 gold in the bank. He's trying to get Mythic Age here, throwing up the market. See if he can get there. He can just chop wood at this point. As you can see, the selling of wood is currently 69. So you can get a lot of gold out of wood at this point in the game. You see those Wadgets, Patsukos getting picked off. Like Rapl's army is very, very strong. Meanwhile, these Spearman raids are doing work. You forget how good Spearmen are at raiding. Like you go around raiding with a Chariot Arch and be like, it's totally good. Chariot Arch at 5.0 speed. Oh, sorry, it's 5.5 speed. But the Spearmen are 5.0 speed. That's pretty fast. They go around the map pretty quickly. And they also don't get one banged by the raiders. If they want to try and surround the raiding force, it's not going to be that useful. See the villagers getting chased down here. Sukos in the back doing a lot of damage. Villagers falling. Rapl going to be retreating back here. He's managed to recoup a lot of his losses here. But Joe's one town center. Rapl is one town center. We see this town center coming up here. We've got the double Thrim Frost Giants. The Big Dog Stronghold coming back up now for Joe. As the raiders have been distracted away. They're trying to hit this this wood line here. And Joe's trying to throw down all of those ghost buildings. Trapping the raiders in here. This is a little bit of a difficult position for Rapl. He probably shouldn't have run his raiders in here. So, okay, so if you, as a random aside, if you have like a spot on the map that you know you can raid, best to hit one location with some raiders and split your army up into two little packs. Sneak one around so that he doesn't notice it. Attack on the front so he's got his screen on there. At least you know his screen is focused on the army. His attention is on the army, and then those raiders slip in. You retreat with this army. You hit the villagers. You feel good about yourself. There's the Migdol stronghold for Rapl. I like that he places this down here. It's going to secure this location for him. He does lose a house though, unfortunately, but heavy raiders are coming through. These are, whenever you see heavy raiders, you get a little bit scared because these raiders start coming into their own at the heavy raider position. All of those base armor, the high base armor that they have starts mattering a lot because, well, the raiders have lots more HP, so effective HP is a lot more with the pierce and hack armor. And you see the rock coming in, picking up those units, running away, and Joe's still struggling to hold on here. So he's having to retreat his village. There's really not a lot that he can do in this game so far. Just been on the back foot since the start here. And that's just because he didn't have any idea that this rush was coming. If he knew the rush was coming, he probably plays it very differently. Now Rapl's going to be attempting to take this Migdol stronghold down for a second time. Joe still not... Oh, Joe going Osiris though. This should be enough to help him stay alive because there's no frost. There's no way to deal with the Son of Osiris. And there's a rock here which has got very little way to deal with it. Does have the throwing axeman, but no axeman must spell. There's the Son of Osiris. There's the mummy. There's one dead frost giant, and Rapl basically has to retreat here. So what Rapl can do now is just go Mythic Age, through tier and hit Joe's economy even more. Try and get his economy sorted, wall off the entire map. Take this game slightly late game. Get safeguard. Make sure your towers are all set up. Get signal fires. Just play the game properly instead of looking for a finishing blow here. And he's in a good position. He's in a good position to continue. Both players are actually in a half-decent position to play this game out here, especially with the Son of Osiris, no frost left. So that's really big. Joe can't really push here. He should be careful because if the hill fort can attack the Son of Osiris, it should at every single moment. Does a lot of damage to it. And Joe does wisely decide to retreat back and be attempting to get as much gold out of this location as possible. Rapl's still not finishing off this wall over here. It's actually really big because that's where the trade route will start. And if you can force the trade route to go from this corner to the hometown center, you are winning. And there's the chariot archers coming in. We've got heavy Huskal coming to save the day. And still no walls up for Rapl. He's had a lot of opportunity to get them sorted. Now the Olsark's coming in here. We see the mummy able to one-hit the frost giant. And these units are all kind of low hack armor, right? 20%, 30%. And Joe just picks the rock up and leaves. You see those chariot archers coming back in, going to be dropping those units down. Starting to see Joe's starting to win these fights very, very well. These Huskal, they're incredibly strong, but not when Son of Osiris is around. 15% hack armor means they're going to die in like 4 shots. I think it's 4 shots. Into you. So if the fights last, it's tough. But Rapl's still making a very close game here. You do see he's grabbing his second town center. The market is up. Rapl very low on gold at this point because of those raids. Just trying to get it all started. Wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe start a trade route to just get a little bit more gold income. And does he have winter harvest? Look at this. Winter harvest irrigation. 23 farms. These villages are gathering food so fast. And it's a surprise that Rapl's not going with a high food unit here. Like going with Jarl. Like, if you could throw up another hill fort and just go mass Jarl, you're probably in a really, really good position. Especially with all these villages. Obviously, Jarl costs a lot of gold as well. So it's a bit tougher to get them to work. But you could possibly sell some food as well as an idea. You can see Joe's sold so much wood already. So not a bad idea to sell some food. At this rate, gathering with winter harvest irrigation is very similar to your actual gold gather rate. It's a little bit less efficient than gold, but still worth. And this Son of Osiris is just going to be cleaning up Rapl's army, and this is why you got to hold on to the frost. It's just, if you pick off this Son of Osiris at this point in the game, like, I don't think there's much that Ra can really do here without Son of Osiris, but I think Rapl thought he could finish the game here, and he's wound up in a pretty difficult predicament. He has 2 town centers now. Joe's also 2 town centers. Joe can come and grab his 3rd town center here if he wants to bum rush the hill fort or something. He's throwing up the siege works. So seeing these units push in, trying to throw up more military buildings. Rapl really struggling to spend his resources here. He's just got nothing in his base. Maybe time to start building some Ulfsark from the town centers in order to make sure he can rebuild these buildings. Always a decent idea. And I still don't think he's gotten Safeguard here, which does make me sad. It's one of those big upgrades for Heimdall, which makes Heimdall a lot stronger than people think. Especially with the walls. The walls is huge. Nice raid coming in for Joe yet again, pushing the gold back. Playing it very, very nicely for the time being. We see this wall coming back up. Rapl just wants this one wall up. Nowhere else, just here. That's the spot. Villagers coming in, going to be able to take down this hill fort very, very fast. He doesn't have Skin of the Rhino, though. Son of Osiris finally getting targeted by the hill fort. Taking some damage. The big advantage for Son of Osiris is when he's getting attacked, he makes an audio cue. Doesn't happen for many of the other units. Well, it's not like a apparent one. I think they all use the same sound when they get hit. Obviously the rock. Oh, there's the rock makes a noise. Oh, that was so close. Oh, Rapl. Oh, Joe just like gave Rapl a glimmer of a hope. Oh, but he gets the Son of Osiris. Does he get it? It somehow slips out, taking tons of damage. 56 HP, 27 HP, 22 HP, 12 HP. That's basically dead. That is basically dead here. You just need to turn, click on it once, click on it, click on it, click on it. Just click on it. 1. Ah, 7 HP. Ah. Now you see Joe going for this mining, this gold mine. Rapl's going to have a hard on for this one here. He's got all his buildings over here. He's got his houses. He's got everything here. And there's no Son of Osiris basically left. We're going to see Rapl attempts to move in and snipe this one. But Joe's going to be keeping a big eye on this one, trying to get max value out of the 7 HP Son of Osiris. We'll see if he can manage to do it. Rapl's 110 population right now. And these raids are just hurting so much. Rapl, just make Ulfsark here. Trade, just instead of losing him, just make 6 Ulfsark and hit this. Build your houses, get your stuff back. There's so many resources in the bank. Obviously, getting Mythic Age here would be huge as well, but I feel like if you just deal with these raiders, it'd be totally fine. Your Ulfsark, heavy Ulfsark, much stronger than 7 Chariot Archers there, I think. It's looking like Rapl was just like, I don't care. Go on Heroic Age. Go on Mythic Age, sorry. I'm going to attempt to finish this game off. We still haven't seen Joe starting his market here. He has brought his Son of Osiris back to empower. Contrary to popular belief, Son of Osiris doesn't actually empower at a higher rate than a Pharaoh. It's the same empowerment rate. So... Rapple's actually in chat and said that Skin of a Rhino is carrying here. Turns out these villagers don't have Skin of the Rhino, so I'm not sure what he means by that. But the rock was definitely carrying the units in it for sure. 100% can agree with that. And more Frost Giants coming out. This is huge. These Frost Giants super hard to deal with for Ra, but Joe's smart, can keep making those mummies. And Rapple's still not able to get to this next stage. These Chariot Archers have just done so much damage. Can't you send like 5? Well, you don't even need 5. You send like 4 raiding cavalry after this, and you kind of got it sorted. Rapple's still trying to get these houses up. We see some... he's on 2 town centers at 100 population, so that's 3 houses he's missing. And the raiders have found, or the Chariot Archers have found the villagers over here. And Ed's just walking past. And this is the only reason Joe is in the game right now. That is these raids that he's doing. He's playing it very, very nicely. The villagers going to town on the Frost Giant here. We see Mummy is waiting. And he, or she, or it, whatever it is, hits the Frost Giant, and now Rapl has to retreat yet again. Rapple's out of gold. There's damage here. These Chariot Archers. Hate to say it, still pickaxe. No shaft mine, no quarry. Rapl is just banking on the fact that North's economy is bonkers. Doesn't care about his upgrades. Joe, on the other hand, does he have his upgrades? He got irrigation. No shaft mine for Joe either. Shaft mine is the most important upgrade for an Egyptian. Irrigation is definitely the second most important upgrade. But we do see Joe's able to start getting his town center up here. Trying to continue in this game. It's still very, very even game here. It's just that, well, Rapple's lost a ton of villagers. Has he started his trade route? He's just like, no. We should have done that. Town center on the way for Joe. Looks like the Raiders are going to attempt to deny it. See if he's going to be able to. It's very tough to deal with this army here. How are the armory upgrades looking? Non-existent and non-existent. And this mummy going to town. Look at this mummy. 20 seconds. Every 20 seconds. That's super value. Now Rapl retreating. And the villagers coming over to chuck up the market, must be. Ooh. Bear here. I'd love to see some walls getting thrown up here for Joe. Sorting this out. Sorting this trade route out. But now that Rapl's been pushed back, he just has no real way to slow down Joe's expansion. Joe's going to be moving in. He can wall off this. He can wall off this. He can wall off this. He can just take all of this area for himself here. We see the bear coming in, picking off one villager. The raiders over here sniping a villager or two. Chariot archers coming in. We're looking for some raids. They do find the villagers in the back here. Going to be going for some snipes. The town center shooting down the chariots as fast as it can, but good reaction from Rapl that time. See some coast buildings coming down for Joe to deny this raid. But Joe's just a matter of time here. His economy is starting to look very, very strong. His army is starting to be very, very strong. He's mythic age. No fortified town centers yet, but he can afford to get it if he wants it, and it is incoming there now. He's got shaft mine as well, so that's great. Can start his market. Surprised to see he hasn't started a trade route just yet. Obviously, tough with the lack of resources. Another chariot archers retreating back. And we do see these cheeky villagers over here will be spotted by the laborers. And Rapl is very short on food right now. And he's going tier. I'm not sure at this point that this is going to be enough of a delay to help Rapl back into the game. It may be worth Balder here, just for the sake that Joe hasn't started a trade route. But there's really not that many villagers here for Rapl because he's lost so many. But maybe Ragnarok pushing through this location here would be okay. I don't know. And the house is coming back down for Rapl here. Villagers are feeling pain as Joe doesn't care. He's just walking into his opponent's base with his army underneath town center protection. No towers though for Rapl. No temple, I don't think. So he's not going to be able to get Fenris Wolves. Though if he chucks a temple down, he's got 88 favor, nearly 90 favor. So that's a pack of Fenris Wolves. There's the tower upgrade. Temple is trying to come up for Rapl, so he's going to try and make the Fenris Wolves work. Here and Fimbulwinter will come down. And how lucky can you get with these spawns? He hits the farms, so food economy completely stopped, doesn't hit the wood or the gold here. Looks like the village is retreating for some reason, but looks like Rapl should be able to hold this off. Gets the temple up, misses out on the one Fenris Wolf, but he should be able to get out all the... Oh, he's making Frost Giants. I thought Fenris Wolves here with like full pop. Maybe it's bad. I don't know. See a hillfort coming down on this location here. He just loses house. Rapl's houses. He just puts them anywhere. He just keeps on losing them. Oh no.
Yeah?
And now Joe can just continuously push in. He's got all the resources in the world. Upgrades not aplenty at all. No upgrades basically. But he could get upgrades if he wanted to. See, that's the difference. If he wanted upgrades, he could get them. There is a small problem in that there's not a lot of gold left for Joe. So if Rapl can stay alive and hold on to this gold, or hold Joe off from getting this gold mine, he's in a half decent position here. which is why I thought maybe Fenris Wolf's not a bad idea, because they'll help him win this fight if he can get enough of them out. But Rapl is just in that awkward position that Norse players find themselves in. They just lose their buildings. It's just hard to continue in the game, even if you've got resources, which Rapl does have. We've got the Ballista coming in for this slowest town center kill you'll ever see. Raiding cavalry going to be sniping some villages over here. Smack, smack, smack. Exactly, Mattress. Imagine the Fenris Wolves. Imagine Forest Fire. It's just like a perfectly played game by Rapl. I just don't understand. Like, it's just a completely broken game. Like, Odin just can't win. It's perfectly played. And Rapl is trying to stay alive. He needs to tap the resign button here because, oh, he's got a lot of gold in the bank. Imagine Fenris Wolves. Alright, we're playing fast here. There we go. He taps out. Okay, good, good, good. Oh, well. I mean, it was obviously a nice strat here. The Heimdall, super strong. Super underutilized God Path. But I just want to say, imagine instead of everything over here, just sending like one or two Ulfsarks over here at some point. Wall this off. Wall this off. Wall this off over here. Wall over here. Wall over here. Just get everything set up. You've got when you get map control against Egyptian, you just utilize it to set up. And if you can set up all the walls, it makes it so hard to get those raids off that you need to get to expand onto gold mines, to set up trade routes, just to do all of the nice Egyptian things that you want to do. It's a really, really tough thing for Egyptian players to deal with. So when you're playing, never take the fact that you've got the advantage enough. Just be like, I'm ahead in this moment of the game. This game is all about moments of who has the advantage. So when you have the advantage, try and get as much out of that advantage as you possibly can. But a good lesson here and a good game for sure. Well played by Joe and Rapl.